Welcome to this week's episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy. I'll bring you the latest news and what's going on around NASCAR. We'll hit the highlights from last week's race, and I'll give you my fantasy picks for this upcoming week. Join John and I for all things fantasy, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun while we do it. Stick around. Holly's Racing Fantasy is sponsored by Fifth Down Fantasy. For the latest NFL news and pro football and NASCAR picks, trust the gang over at Fifth Down Fantasy. Since 2016, Fifth Down Fantasy has been a favorite destination for football fanatics looking for smart and savvy advice and analytics. Visit fifthdownfantasy.com today. Fifth Down Fantasy, real fantasy advice by and for real fantasy players. Hi, John.
Hi.
How are you?
Absolutely wonderful.
I'm hoping that you're doing good. We got a show here for you guys out there. We're going to go over the CookOut 400 race results from Richmond Raceway.
We're reporting from hell. Live.
Every time I say Richmond Raceway, I have to pause so that I don't sound like Elmer Fudd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the last race in the month of July.
Thank God.
That brings us 5 races closer to the playoffs.
Thank God.
And guess who won?
God.
Well, God always wins, really, my son. Chris Boucher won.
He did.
He did. Chris Boucher from RFK Racing won the Richmond CookOut 400, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing because, you know, he was already in the playoffs on points. But, you know, when you get a win, you're guaranteed in. So he clinched his playoff spot with the win. Now, I can say second place winner Denny Hamlin looked like he might have overtaken him, but with all of the vicious and ferocious boos that Denny Hamlin faced at his home track in Richmond, I think he was hesitant to actually overtake someone like Chris Boucher. Yeah. I don't know if it had been somebody else, maybe, but you don't want to overtake a guy that hasn't won, you know, in a couple of seasons.
You don't want to really look like the asshole.
Right, because then they'll start throwing tomatoes and heads of lettuce and things. Where did they get a tomato and heads of lettuce? I don't know,
but they always had them in the movies.
They always did. Yeah. Someone got hit with a tomato.
Yep.
I don't carry tomatoes around,
oh.
Which is a good thing, especially driving around Wilmington, because I'd be throwing tomatoes left and right.
Oh, my gosh. And they don't rot in your pocket, though, like by the time you get home.
They may be not, because the way people drive around here.
Yeah, we almost got killed a couple times.
Yeah.
Monday night, wasn't it?
Yeah. Coming home from the beach. I turned the air blue several times.
Yeah.
I was ready to fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The older I get, the more I'm like ready to fight people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get myself shot someday.
Well.
Remember you always used to say that?
Yeah.
You used to say, you know what? Someday you're going to get yourself shot.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, me and my sister are the same way.
Yeah.
We're hopefully we'll be able to control ourselves to not get, you know, clobbered.
Well, if you're going to get shot, at least get a good
my God.
one in.
Believe me, I will. Believe me. 50 years of pent-up frustration.
Take out an eyeball or something, you know.
50 years of pent-up frustration is going to come out of this fist into a tourist at the Wilmington.
How many years? 50? 50 years of frustration? If my 50 years of frustration comes out, I'm going to eat someone's face. And it's going to be like Hannibal Lecter. So,
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. You don't have 50 years of frustration yet.
I got 49.
Yeah, 49.
Yeah.
So Denny Hamlin came in second, Kyle Busch third, Joey Logano fourth, Ryan Preece came in fifth. That's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Brad Keselowski sixth, Martin Truex Jr. seventh, Eric Almirola eighth, Austin Dillon ninth, and Kevin Harvick 10th. And that's the roundup for Richmond.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. It was a pretty uneventful race. You know, not much happened.
Not a lot of cautions or anything.
No, it was very pleasant, very nice. Kyle Larson did bump Denny Hamlin in the rear end as he was going by him, just to kind of say.
Denny got him a gift, though.
Oh, what? No, are you joking?
No, I'm serious.
Okay, what'd you hear?
I read that he got him a pair of like really nice golf shoes.
Oh,
from the Michael Jordan type golf course that he owns, and
that's nice.
He gave them to him on Monday, which I guess it happened to be Larson's birthday too.
Oh, interesting.
But he said it wasn't really a birthday present; it was an "I'm sorry" present.
Yes, well, it should be.
So even Denny, can be sorry.
Exactly.
Take a hint, Hal.
Denny Hamlin is
Holly,
a lot like.
people can be sorry and wrong every now and then.
Yeah, I am. Shut
Even
up.
Denny Hamlin, Holly.
Denny Hamlin and I are a lot alike.
It's okay to be wrong.
It is. You're exactly right.
It's okay. It's a victory. It's a victory for yourself.
It is.
Yeah.
Listen, it was hot in all of these cars. Martin Truex Jr. said it was 130 degrees inside his race car.
Yeah.
And he said his cheek felt like it was sunburned because it's like a giant hairdryer blowing on you.
Yeah.
That had to be hell. You know what? People could say what they want about, I'm just racing. I'm just driving a car in a circle.
No, I'm defending it.
But it's a lot of work. Folks, John is very salty today for this show.
Salty as the earth is round.
Please. Salty as the ocean.
Salty as the ocean.
So just excuse him for any foibles that come out in this conversation.
Yep.
Bubba Wallace led 80 laps, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most laps he's ever led in a career.
Then he pulled a Bubba.
No, but then he
pulls a Bubba, his own move.
No, his team did because they had a slow tire change.
That's right. Somebody screwed it up.
During a green flag pit stop on lap 175. So he ended up 12th, which kind of stinks. But he's still in the playoffs right now. So,
it's not bad.
Not bad. That not a lot of stuff happened. It was close at the end, though, because there was an overtime. Well, there was a caution at the end.
Right.
And I thought, oh my God, we're finally going to see someone different win. And then they have a caution. But fortunately, everybody had a bad restart. So, it ended up okay for RFK Racing, which is great.
Yeah.
Having a great year.
I thought Brad looked like he might win it too.
Oh, Brad's looking really good.
Yeah, Brad's looking good.
He sure is.
Yeah.
He came in 6th. He's doing really good. Very impressive. Coming back around, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to NASCAR news.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so I think the biggest bit of NASCAR news this week is that Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus have been elected to the NASCAR Hall of Fame for 2024.
You think?
Pretty exciting, right?
Yeah.
Along with Donnie Allison. But poor Donnie Allison, everybody's like, he's kind of like, bottom of the barrel here when you're talking about Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus. But you want to hear something really funny that I think is interesting. It was not a unanimous vote for Jimmy Johnson to get in.
Wow. Who was that loser
who's
on
the
crew?
loser moron that decided, Jimmy Johnson doesn't.
7 championships. He's a hack.
He's a hack. He's a has-been.
He's a
hack. Come on. I know. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. It always takes one.
And
that's why the world is the way it is.
You're exactly right.
That's exactly why the world is the way the world is. Because you got some guy like that, and there's many of them.
Many. Because this was his first time on the ballot. And of course, he's going to get voted in because he's amazing. But, that's the idiot that's like, I don't ever give anybody a perfect score. I don't give everybody a 10.
No one doesn't deserve that.
I give people 10s all the time.
But that Todd Gillian, I think he's going to make it someday.
You know what? Let's not get down on Todd.
Sorry, Todd.
That's okay. I know. That's all right. I'm just picking.
Yeah.
So that's that with the NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson. Congratulations to Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus.
Who needs a win?
I don't know I think he's racing again, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Here's another little bit of news. SVG, which is, Shane Van Ginsenbergen. He's going to make
As the NBC broadcasters call him, Shane Van Ginsenbergen. Anyone in the NASCAR booth.
That's the NBC booth.
The NBC booth.
God.
That's how what's his name?
It's very trying. It's a heavy lift.
It is a mute button that's needed through the entire race.
When NASCAR goes to NBC, it's a heavy lift for my ears and my soul.
It is a mono mid-range for 7 hours. So he go down, he's go down,
which is why Sexy Booth Guy gets a little bit of a break when NBC comes on.
because these guys are not saying anything sexy, and if they are, you don't know they are,
right.
Because all you hear is Martin, I'm going to take his clothes off, and what do you say? Take his clothes off, I'm going to go around that corner, and pull his drawers down. Wait, pull his drawers down.
You are cracking me up. But listen, okay.
What?
Shane Van Gisbergen. will make his NASCAR oval track debut in the Truck Series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a full-time NASCAR driver.
I don't know.
Maybe that's where he's going to start.
I don't know about that yet. That's still,
Okay.
I think that's still being kicked around.
Oh, okay.
Now, he is going to race for the Cup Series next weekend, August 13th, because they'll be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course.
Oh, that makes sense for
yes.
NASCAR.
Yep. So he's going to do the road course for Trackhouse Racing in the Cup Series, but this weekend he's going to do the Truck Series.
Oh, okay.
Yep. At the same place. It's also
Right.
at no, not Indianapolis. It's going to be at it is. It's Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Okay.
Where the trucks will be. So that's
So when is
interesting.
NASCAR going to take over the Mario Kart land there in Is it Japan or somewhere?
Oh, are they?
Well, when are they? It would make more sense the way they're like running these guys. Like they're going to put them in hovercrafts and let them race around a lake or something.
I get what you're saying. Isn't there a Mario Kart up in Canada?
Is it in Canada?
I think there might be one in Japan too, but I thought there was one
I
in
can't remember
Canada
where it
now.
was. There could be one in Canada. It's like a whole Mario, like Disneyland, but it's Mario and
I know, yeah.
what's it? Goblin,
look that up.
Boo Ghost, or what's King Boo?
King Boo.
King Boo.
Goblin Land. That's great.
Yeah.
What else is that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen much in the news, so
No, except they're quitting next year. I think NASCAR's done. They're throwing in the white.
they're throwing in the towel.
They're throwing in the white flag.
They're ending it all.
They're going to end it all.
Well, Corey LaJoy signed a multi-year contract with Spire Motorsports.
That's good.
So-
Who's he racing for? Spiral Hams?
No, Spire.
Spiral. Spiral?
Spire.
Spire. Oh, I thought you said spiral.
No.
Like Spiral Ham.
No. And then
Spiral
Denny
Ham.
Hamlin and FedEx gave a bunch of shoes to kids at the Boys and Girls Club.
Ham gravy.
I know. Spiral ham.
Spiral ham and ham gravy. Biscuits.
I could go for.
That's because we're dieting.
We are. No wonder we're so salty.
Yeah.
We've
Hangry.
been
We're
counting.
hangry.
We are. We've been counting calories for 3 whole days.
For 3 whole days. And we're hangry.
We are hangry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could go for a Bojangles biscuit right about now.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get on to the picks here.
Okay, see ya.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, John, you know what this means?
I think it means
It's time for
it's
the
time to go.
It's time for the
See you next week, everybody.
It's time for the NASCAR fantasy picks for the FireKeepers 400 at Michigan International Speedway.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna make this. We're gonna blow through this, man. Okay,
Okay.
ready? So that we can go get something to eat. I'm just kidding.
We're going to blow through this so we can go get a Butterfinger.
a hot fudge sundae from Sonic.
A hot fudge sundae from, Costco. How long's Costco open?
8:30. All right. Anyway.
Anyways.
Number 1, bing-a-ding-a-ding, Brad Keselowski. Okay, let me tell you something about everybody on this list, folks. Everybody on my brilliant and bold NASCAR fantasy pick list this week is someone who is not locked into the playoffs. Some of them are in there, but not locked in, as in they could get kicked out if somebody else wins. Some of them are on the bubble. Some of them are just under the bubble. So Brad Keselowski is number 1. Brad Keselowski is currently in the playoffs, but he needs a win to lock it in.
Okay. Who's the boy in the bubble?
That would be, I guess, Kyle Larson. Anyway, Brad Keselowski is at 13 top 10 here. He doesn't have a win yet, but
It's his
that
home
could
state,
change.
though, isn't it, too?
Is it?
Technically, I thought
oh my
Michigan
God.
was
What
his
is?
home.
I think maybe you're right.
Yeah, because he's never won in his home
Oh,
track.
see, there
I
you
think.
go.
Yeah.
So this is the week.
He always wants it, though. But.
That's if he can hold off Kevin Harvick. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I say Kevin Harvick every week. But let me tell you something. Kevin Harvick has won 5 of the last 7 Michigan races.
Wow.
He has 6 wins here, 16 top 5s, and 22 top 10s.
Wow, it's quite a bit.
I know, so
That's-
it's
that's
very
a good
tempting.
record.
Yeah, it is. And he's also in the playoffs with points, but again, you get enough winners, kick him right out. So the boy in the bubble would be Kyle Larson because, okay, Kyle Larson is my exception to the rule.
Okay.
He's actually locked into the playoffs, but I think after the last 2 weeks, between the Denny Hamlin incident 2 weeks ago and then getting his feet back under him last week, I think this might be the week where he comes back and either wins or at least gets into the top 5. I mean, he's got 3 wins in Michigan.
Wow.
I know. I was kind of surprised about that too. Bold fantasy picks, Chase Elliott, of course. I mean, we have 2 road courses coming up where he could win and get in, but wouldn't you want to get in now and get it over with? Take
if
the pressure
he can,
off,
but
you know?
he is not.
I know.
But maybe I don't think he's going to get in. I'm
I
going to be
don't
bold.
know.
I'm going to make my bold pick right now. I don't think the guy's getting in the playoffs.
He might not.
I don't think so.
I'm worried about him. But
not really worried
he's
about
still
him, but
okay. I'm not.
He's kind of a tool, but
Well, okay, yeah, but
Well.
you're not. It's not John's racing fantasy, so I have to be worried about him. Do you know what I'm saying? You could be.
that's true. I don't even have to be here. Bye.
Right, you could be the. Okay, are you going to call me Felicia? You could be the storm breaker. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, I can.
So
That's my job here. It's what I get paid $1 a week for.
But I'm just saying, hopefully he'll get in or not.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, and then Bubba Wallace. Right now, Bubba is I think at the bottom of the cutoff line. So he needs to really keep finishing well.
Yeah.
He needs a good finish in Michigan. I don't know if he's going to win.
He's going to do well, though.
He's going to do well.
I think he's going to do well, too.
Numbers here aren't too bad. So
Yes.
Bubba Wallace.
Yep.
And then Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs.
Believe it or not, he's only run in the Cup Series here one time, but he finished 10th, and that was last year.
Okay.
But you know what? He is just under the cutoff line. So I think he's going to race really hard because that guy wants to get into this championship run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet he does.
All right. So now the bonkers people to stay away from who probably aren't going to do it. AJ Allmendinger, hold off on him. We got 2 road courses coming up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Bowman, I just don't think it's going to happen for Bowman this year either,
No.
which is sad. And he's got
Yeah.
a terrible record here.
Yeah.
And Eric Almirola, I think. I
Okay.
mean, there's a slim chance, but it's probably not happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are good people to stay. I'd stay away
Yeah.
from McLeod
Yeah, BJ McLeod. Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
and Hand.
Joey Hand. I
Joey
don't know if
Hand.
Joey Hand's racing this week or
I
not.
would stay away from Tommy Turnbuckle
Yeah, okay. And Dick Trickle.
and Dickie Trickle.
Act-
Stay away from him too.
Right, because he's dead.
And Ricky Bobby.
And he's a ghost. Okay, so brilliant picks once again. Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Larson. Bold sleeper picks, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, and Ty Gibbs. And not so smart to pick, Eric Almirola, AJ Allmendinger, and Alex Bowman. They all begin with an A. So, you know what I got to say about it? Those are my picks, everybody, and I'm sticking to them. If you like what you're hearing, follow me on Facebook at Holly's Racing Fantasy for a little more information here and there. You can listen to the latest episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy every Friday whenever there's a Cup Series race, wherever you get your podcasts. Or subscribe to Holly's Racing Fantasy on YouTube for current and past episodes. Thanks. Okay, I think it's the end of the show.
It might be.
Is it?
It might be.
Are we recording?
It's actually recording.
Okay, so it's the end of the show.
Okay.
And because we got to, I can't even.
No, it's a tough week.
It is. You
know?
Midsummer is a hard time, everyone.
Yeah.
It is.
Because like when it's like February and you're like up north and it's like, oh, I just want to get outside. You're kind of cringing for spring.
Yes.
Well, here in the South, we are dying from heat. So we're just kind of...
Well, actually, not today.
It's actually not today. It's like the first day.
It's the first day you could breathe.
You could breathe.
In 2 months.
Like when you watch Sports Center
and
you see like the NFL training camps and they're like, it's like 1,000 degrees out.
Yeah, and they're passing out and shit, throwing up.
And they got those fans blowing cold stuff and they're drinking Gatorade. That's what you have to do to mow your lawn.
Yeah, John had
here.
training today.
And it's like just a backyard. I mean, it's not like it's like
I'm
mowing a football field.
No, I know.
But you would think it was.
You would think. I know.
And that's on a cooler day.
Right. So we're getting on here. One thing I want to say, I want to say happy birthday to one of our young friends, and probably not a listener, but still one of our young friends. His name is Dakota Heikema, and he is 21 today. And we have known Dakota since he was 13. And he and Jack are like social media friends.
I'll give you a throwback.
What's that?
Super Dakota.
Oh, he used to be Super Dakota 33 on YouTube.
On YouTube.
I'm not sure what he is now. I have no idea. These kids change our YouTube handles left and right, like a pair of underwear.
Yep. I hope they do.
So happy birthday to Dakota for anybody who's listening. And then I want to say how sad it is that the world lost Pee Wee Herman, a.k.a. Paul Rubens.
Horrible.
This week.
Horrible.
Very, very sad.
Very sad.
Man, he was 70 years old.
It's hard to believe.
I hope I look that good when I'm 70.
I know.
God.
I'll tell you what, though.
What's that?
I know you are.
But what am I?
There, you fell for it. You walked right into it.
Why don't you take a picture? It lasts longer.
He's the inspiration for my gambler problem, man.
Oh.
Not really.
Actually, if you or someone you know
Speaking of,
has a gambling addiction and would
Viva
like help,
Las Vegas.
call the National Problem
Viva Las Vegas.
Gambling Helpline
Viva Las Vegas.
at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. You know what? They're going to cancel me. They're going to say, she doesn't respect the people with gambling issues.
well, if you have gambling issues and you're listening to this,
Yeah. No, nobody has gambling issues that are listening to it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, the
don't think
people that
so.
aren't, like people that have no business even listening to this, they're going to look at it just to can't. I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
you
you have to
know
worry about
what?
that.
I don't think I have to worry about it either. I got 5 listeners, so it's not a big deal.
no.
So I'm just going to say this is the end of the show. And do I have anything else to say, John?
I think that's it for the week.
Okay.
We'll be here next week.
We will be here next week.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully we won't have melted.
we will not have melted. We're going to
I'm
recap
hoping so.
Michigan.
Yeah, we'll recap
And then
Michigan.
we'll go over the picks for the road course in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is after Michigan?
Yes, it is.
When's Watkins Glen?
After that.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
Watkins Glen is August 20th.
I see, said the blind man.
And then Daytona is the 26th. And then, baby, it's over. And we're on to the playoffs starting Labor Day weekend in Darlington.
Wow.
I know.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So, everybody have a great week. Stay healthy.
And
Stay safe.
race
Race on.
on.